Wait. 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 Because when you click that blue, that'll click off. You gotta click the blue.
Did.
No.
Well, it says we have an excellent connection.
Oh, we have an excellent connection. Okay, go
but
for
it's
it.
buffering like crazy.
There we go.
All right, now.
Now, click it.
No. You tell me, he told me all kinds of wrong stuff.
Go to your pop out.
YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. Okay, we having issues, but it says we got a good connection. Let me get this where it works. All right, hello everyone.
Yeah.
It is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
Our computer's lying to us, guys. Can you cover up all your stuff over where you won't be hit one of my cons?
Yeah, because I probably would.
Yeah, our computer's lying to us.
Plus,
Look here, we don't even have a chat. The chat went away.
No, it's buffering. That's all there is to it. It's buffering like crazy.
And it tells us we have an excellent connection.
Not anymore, it's red.
Oh, it's red.
Now we got somebody popping up
Now
here.
we got something else happening here, guys. Hold on.
Alright, so we have no clue who's in the chat or anything else. We're just
sitting here looking
blind.
at it. There we go.
Okay, now we have a chat.
There we go.
Danny was reading some comments.
And yes, I was reading the comments, Mr. Coleman.
Somebody said, quit reading.
Um,
It has been productive. Oh, double A here, and the garden is doing good. Just getting some racing season.
all right.
Okay, that's our guy with the drone. We have
Yeah.
not played with the drone since last weekend, so not out of time.
No,
We've been kind of busy.
we've been really, really busy.
Really busy.
Matter of fact, I just got home just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we grabbed a bite to eat and then Hill's Mill. Hello.
Hello there, Mr. Mickey and Ms. Kelly.
Yeah, this week's been busy.
It's been a super busy week.
We had yellow wax. Oh, excuse me. We had yellow wax beans. I canned
Oh.
3-4 days this week. At least 3 days this
3
week.
days this week you can 21 pints at a time, I think.
21
21 quarts at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of beans.
We picked 10 gallons of yellow wax beans every time we picked.
3 times this week.
And
the blueberries.
Yeah, the blueberries. We were picking 5 gallons of blueberries almost every other day, and now we got so many hanging out there. We got nowhere to put them. They're just everywhere, hanging all over the
So
tree.
we're hoping some kids and friends and family will start coming to pick blueberries over the
Not,
next
they're
week
just
or
gonna
so.
fall off on the ground, I reckon.
So we've been real busy, and then on top of that, we had a baby calf born.
2 of them.
Not one, but 2.
2 baby calves.
1 day apart.
One was expected, the other was totally unexpected.
Now we knew she was pregnant and that she might calf within the next month or so,
Yeah,
but we didn't have any idea that she was that close.
had no idea.
And one of them was, let's see, the first one was a rusty color, because we're going to call him Rusty. Thank you, Miss Karen, one of our patrons. Karen, and I don't remember the last name, gave us the name Rusty. So Danny kind of liked that name, so we named him Rusty. And then the next, well, you was going to call him Little Man.
Little man, because he was the only little man on the property.
And all day Danny says, well, I'm just going to call him Little Man. And the next morning we got up and he went over to Pecan Grove for a while, and he come back and he says, we got a second calf. And I said, well, then you can't call the first one Little Man because, well, once we figured out it was another boy.
Another boy, yep.
He said, we got 2 little men.
Got 2 little men now, yep.
So we went back to all the comments, and Miss Karen gave us Rusty. Then we popped up the second one. And what are you calling the second one? It's
Shadow.
Black. It's just
Shadow.
It's black.
I forgot who it was that came up with the name Shadow.
I don't either.
It was on one of our patrons, came up with the name Shadow. So
Yeah.
we're going to call Rusty and Shadow.
Yeah.
Hello from Wiggins.
Who's from Wiggins?
We'll be cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody close.
well, he actually lives right here on West McHenry Road.
That's right. I remember. Yeah, it's Paul Davis said it in Tennessee, low 50s in the AM for 3 weeks. We had
50s yesterday morning, this morning, and we're supposed to be in 50s in the morning. But The daytime highs, a while ago I just looked, our high today was 88 degrees, but now we're under very low humidity, which is highly unusual, and our heat index was only 94 today.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't really that bad.
I mowed over at Pecan Grove this morning, then come over here and mowed here this afternoon, and about 2:30, 3, somewhere along in there, it's getting a little warm, so I quit.
Yeah.
Still got more mowing to do at both places, but
Yeah.
I got some done.
Yeah, we got a lot done today now. Today was one of those big days. I spent the morning pushing and clearing and stuff like that. I moved dirt on the pond dam. A big pile of dirt was left over from when we built the pond, and I put it off on the back side of the pond dam and kind of graded it all in. Got all that done this morning, and then went back this afternoon, done some more pushing, and got home just about 30 minutes ago. Just enough time to eat and get in here.
Miss Darlene says, how are the fig trees looking? Ours are loaded.
Ours are loaded.
I really thought that freeze was going to do damage, but
yeah,
they're popping now, so they're really loaded. And when Danny came home, he usually shuts the gate when he comes in our property. And I had a neighbor lady stop by. She brought me some banana bread, and I just had a piece of that, and it was really good. But she was standing here, and I was trying to holler down and tell him, don't shut the gate, and he couldn't hear me.
I couldn't hear her.
So he come on down, he saw she was here, so he went back and opened the gate for her so she wouldn't have to deal with it.
Yeah. Oh. Are those farmalls still available?
You can find them occasionally.
Yeah, you can find. As a matter of fact, I saw them in the market bulletin. I've been seeing some in the Mississippi market bulletin now. They've always got them in. One of them says it's been completely restored for, I forgot what the price was. It was like, I don't remember. I don't want to lie. I don't remember.
Look at the Mississippi market bulletin. What fertilizer do you use on Cherokee tan pumpkins?
I just use triple 13 whenever I plant, and I really don't fertilize them again after that. I mean, unless I use calcium nitrate. Now, I may use some calcium nitrate once they get going, but the thing about Cherokee tan pumpkins is where every leaf is at, laying on the ground, they put roots out right there at every leaf, and they make roots. That way, if something happens to the root part of the plant is still rooted everywhere it goes. If a vine borer gets to it or something like that, it won't kill it because it's still got roots in the ground, and it'll just keep rooting and keep taking off and going.
All right, Sharon wants to know, she has a small peach tree with golf ball sized peaches. They are starting to fall off. Do you know what could be wrong and what can we do about it?
They could have worms in them. The tree could just be too young to handle them right now, and it just sheds them to put the growth into the tree. I mean, it could be several different things.
All right.
Fruitland Park, Suzanne Hudson. Suzanne, are you any kin to Matt? Because I know Matt very well.
Somebody says they bought 2 cubs in Baxterville recently, which is, what?
30 minutes from
30
here.
30 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Danny, please help. My Yukon Gold potatoes disappeared after 8 weeks. 8 weeks after planting, only 2 out of 200 plants even broke the surface. When I dug the rows up, I found 2 to 4 new potatoes under each one. What would have caused them to just disappear? The plant disappeared?
Did the plant disappear, or did the potatoes disappear?
Yeah, we'll look for that in a minute. Can I ask a quick question? This is Burning Daylight about bees. How important are bees? Anything we can do to help them?
Well, honeybees, if you're talking about honeybees pollinate some things in the garden, like corn. Corn's pollinated by wind, but honeybees also play a part in that.
Because it's sweet.
Because it's really sweet.
Even field corn has a sweet tinge.
Even field corn does, yeah. Squash, honeybees love squash. They like cucumbers, stuff like that. Now, they don't hardly ever fool with the tomato plants. They will, but it's not that big of a deal. Honeybees are more apt to take care of peach trees, apple trees, pear trees, They like that kind of stuff more so than they do the garden. The garden, you'll see more bumblebees, you know, or small little wasps and stuff like that all in the garden, more so than you will honeybees, other than on like squash and cucumbers and things of that nature.
Can a farmall plow in heavy clay dirt?
Yeah, farmall can plow in anything, but I mean, you got to flat break it. They make a breaking plow to go on a farmall, and you just have to break the soil. I mean, it's just like any tractor. I can take my big Kubota and go out there in hard ground, and it'll just sit there and spin when I drop the plow down. It does. You got to break the ground and soften it up.
All right, Judy is planting butter peas this year. What kind of conditions do they like?
Butter peas like a drier, warm, very warm climate. They don't like a lot of water, and they don't like a lot of fertilizer. I mean, when I say fertilizer, don't give them a lot of nitrogen. Give them phosphorus and potassium, and just they love the heat. You know, they'll do good.
All right, Prep for Eternity says, how do Cherokee yellow wax beans can? Do they get mushy? No.
No.
They can very well.
Very well.
I think what I had done up until this point, 88 quarts.
Yeah, you've done 88 quarts so far.
And when you open them, they're still firm. They're not like green beans. Green beans tend to get a touch mushy. Certain types of green beans do. These hold their shape. I don't know why, but they might be kind of soft, but they're not mushy. They still hold their shape.
The question was asked a while ago. Someone asked, what's eating the bottoms off of all their carrots? The things that'll eat the bottom off a lot of your carrots are voles. Now that's with a V, not an M. With a V, voles, mice would burrow underground. They'll eat the ends off of them. That's the two biggest issues I've had is, well, we don't have voles here, but we have mice. And lots of times mice will go underground and eat the ends off of carrots.
All right, a tomato and squash help for Aaron. What to fertilize with and how often will Golden Bloom work?
Yes, we use Golden Bloom quite a bit. It's a high phosphorus liquid fertilizer. I do it once every 2 weeks. If it's really hot, I do it once a week. And if squash vine borers or if I start seeing squash bugs or anything like that, I do it once a week because that stuff literally stinks. And it seems to keep them off of it once you start using it on a regular basis.
All right. Trying a seedless grape in our high tunnel here in South Louisiana. Any advice? We ate some today.
We had seedless grapes today. Yes, we did.
They were not very big this time because the freeze kind of messed up with them.
Yeah.
But his 2 new plants are they're taking off. So
just don't over fertilize them. I use a time release fertilizer on mine.
Keep them moist.
And just keep them moist, but not soaking wet.
Yeah. Is Neshoba County, Mississippi far enough south to escape the 33rd parallel weather issues?
Graysdale Farm, I used to live up just north of Neshoba County Fair in a little place called Noxapater. Yes, the 33rd parallel is actually at the about 3/4 of the way up Mississippi. When you look at the top of the land of Louisiana and Arkansas, that technically is a 33rd parallel across there. But now maps will actually say that it's actually at the top of Mississippi, which is the top of Mississippi is more closer to the 35th parallel. But the 33rd parallel, you're far enough from it at Neshoba County. Neshoba County is Philadelphia, so yeah, you should be okay at Philadelphia.
All right, Rich said he wants to know what soil did you put in the high tunnels. He just bought one and building boxes this weekend.
Rich, we have our own soil, a lot of it. We take our brush piles and we push our property and just leave them in big piles. We don't burn them. Here in our humidity and heat, they usually rot down within a year and turn back into dirt. We'll scoop them up and pick the sticks and limbs and stuff up out of them, and we'll take that dirt and we'll take cattle mineral tubs, and we put half of the cattle mineral tub full of that kind of dirt, and then we go buy Schultz potting mix, has a 9-month time release fertilizer in it, and we mix a bag or 2 of that in on top of it. We take a shovel and turn it, and from our experiences, we fill it all the way to the top because we have so many worms in our soil here that literally within the first 6 to 8 months, the worms will eat that soil down to where it'll sink down 6 inches in the pot, and you'll have to start adding more soil. So I mean, that's basically what we do.
All right, so D. Foley is saying Dr. Earth is having free shipping this weekend. So if you're wanting Golden Bloom or any of the Dr. Earth products, we don't have a link to it or anything. We're not affiliated with it. We just like the product. This is probably a good weekend because shipping is pretty expensive. It's over $100. You got to spend $100 to get free shipping. But like that big, what is it, 5 gallons?
Yeah, the 5 gallons of it that we bought was like,
I forgot.
It was like $300.
Yeah, but the shipping was outrageous.
It was outrageous.
It's 5 gallons of liquid.
It's heavy.
It's very heavy.
It weighs 50 pounds.
I think it was going to be, because I was going to order one a couple of months ago, and now they having free shipping, I'll probably go order one. But it was going to cost me like nearly $100. It was $70 or $80 for shipping. So yeah, that's a good deal. So Dr. Earth, that's where we get our Golden Bloom.
Are there any plants in the garden that should not have pine mulch? No, there's not really anything in the garden that shouldn't have pine mulch, but if you put pine mulch in the garden, you better load it up with nitrogen, because the pine mulch is going to pull all your nitrogen out of the soil, and your plants are going to turn yellow, and they're not going to produce like they need to. It needs to be composted and broke down before you put it in the garden.
What type of being eats peppermint plants? My patch was sawed down to the dirt.
Now that I cannot answer that, because I know rats don't eat it, because peppermint is a rat deterrent. I don't know. We've never had anything like that to happen. I can't.
No, usually I can't get rid of my peppermint and stuff. Our mint does really good. Pamela wants to know, do y'all have an irrigation system set up for your gardens and greenhouses?
No, we don't have any kind of irrigation system. I have all of it to set up, but we don't have it set up because I haven't had time enough to actually hook the water up to the greenhouses. We still have a water hose running there right now, and I'm staying so busy I haven't had time to actually connect the hoses and all that stuff up underground and get it all set up.
JT West said, hey Danny and Wanda, my son William is not too far from you guys tonight. He's in LaGrange, Georgia. Well, that's still a little piece.
That's a pretty good stretch, but it's a whole lot closer than what you are.
He's closer than JT
He's closer than Joey and him are.
Let's see. Laura said, I finally caught alive. I found the Bud and Bloom by Dr. Earth, but I'm not sure. I wish I could embed
a picture.
Okay.
It's not Bud and Bloom.
Golden.
It's Golden Bloom.
And the container is white, and the writing is in pink.
Yeah,
some of the writing is in pink.
Some of the writing's in pink, yeah.
So it's called Golden Bloom, and I think Miss Lippy put a link to a 24-ounce thing. I just saw it go by. So if Lippy can put a link to it, that y'all can click it and see what the Golden Bloom is.
She's got it up now.
Okay, she's got it.
Yeah, check out Miss Lippy's got the link. Does anyone know, can I plant lemon balm in the garden, or is it like mint and spreads everywhere? It makes a really big, wide, flat plant, but I don't know that it would take over like mint will. Or oregano is another one. It'll take over.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are saying it spreads.
Ms. Allison's saying caterpillars love mint.
Well, probably if you've got a light or something around it and some moth has laid its little eggs and stuff, them little worm babies might eat mint too.
Daryl wants to know, if he plants the red rippers on 54-inch cattle panel on this very vigorous cowpea, how far apart would you plant the seeds? I would plant them no closer than 8 inches. Do not go any closer than 8 inches, or it's going to be the biggest tangled up mess you've ever seen. Actually, 10 inches would be better.
Yeah, because they're going to, I mean, if y'all watched our videos last year, or the year before. When did we do that? We had them in the front.
I
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before.
I think it was last year.
The years run together, but we have a video showing that we planted them on cattle panels in our front field here, and they produced abundantly. But they were like a mangled mess because we had 2 cattle panels, and they went over and caught each other at the top, and you had to crawl under them to pick. It was bad. It was bad. So next time we've learned move them way further apart.
What are the brown spots on my potato leaves? It's more than likely a blight. Potatoes get a blight real easy. It will eventually kill the plant, but usually it doesn't kill it before it actually makes potatoes. Do you cut the scapes off your garlic? Occasionally I will. If I'm wanting to make big bulbs out of them, then yes, I will. But we usually, with our elephant garlic that we plant, we've tried all the other garlics. None of them really work here in the south because it's too hot. Elephant garlic is about the only one that really does good. And we don't really worry about it that much because it's going to make a big bulb anyway.
All right, Grace Dill wants to know, do you pound in the stakes for your high tunnel walls by hand, or did you push them in with the tractor bucket? Because their soil is hard as a rock right now. They've had no rain in 3 weeks.
We pounded ours in by hand because they send you a big bolt that sits in with a washer that sits in the top of that pipe, and I took a sledgehammer and literally drove them down in the ground.
All right.
My tractor bucket won't reach that high because it's a 10-foot pipe, and mine only reach 8 foot.
I'm fixing to show them some corn. If I can get it up there, guys.
We can get this up here. Do you see that ribbon on that corn? That ribbon's at 8 foot. That's an 8-foot fence around that corn, and that's how high the corn is sticking up above the look at that. That corn is anywhere between 10 and 12 feet tall.
And then I have, let's see.
Florida Homesteader, yes, elephant garlic tastes just like regular garlic, except it's a lot milder.
Okay, let me show you this one is a different look at it. I'm going to have videos maybe Monday, if I'm lucky, or if y'all are lucky.
They're up there.
Yes, look. Y'all know what that is? It is tossling. Some of it is anyway. And then, you know what this is?
You got to get it at an angle where they can see it. There's the ears. It's already starting to silk out on it right there.
And how long has it been since it was less than or right at 2?
I looked a while ago. April the 30th. The corn was knee high on April the 30th. May the 27th, which is today, it's between 10 and 12 feet tall.
So 30 days.
30 days.
All right, this, let me get it where we can see. This is rusty.
Anthony says, is peaches and cream a dent corn? No, peaches and cream is a sweet corn. It is not a dent corn.
And this is shadow. I mean, he's jet black too.
He's jet black.
There ain't a spot on him nowhere. So that's what we've been doing this week. All this stuff. Plus, you've been cleaning out the garbage dump that we found last week.
We finally got all the garbage dump cleaned out we found on our property.
Got a lot of it cleaned up. Before we forget it, now I forgot it last week.
Somebody's asking, what can Danny corn be used for? You can use it for cattle feed, chicken feed, animal feed. You can grind it into grits, cornmeal, corn flour. We make all that with ours. I mean, it can be used for any of it. You can make
hominy.
Hominy.
Anything like that. Or if you catch it in the milk stage, you can cut it off like you would sweet corn and fry it. It's awesome. All right, tell me when I get this.
You're there.
I don't know if they can see it. There's a shadow.
Right there. If you leave it right there, don't move it. Happiness is Pecan Grove.
Miss Kathy made this and sent it to us, and I meant to show it the last 2 weeks and have forgotten it because it was sitting by Danny over there and I didn't see it. She put a lot of work into this thing, y'all. It is beautiful. I've done some of this counted cross stitch before, and it does take time, but it is relaxing too. So, and I love seeing something made like that. And she put it in a nice frame too. Thank you, Miss Kathy.
And Jim Lippy said, "That must be some really good corn. I just had a honeybee land on my screen."
It is some good corn.
Does elephant garlic have the same medicinal properties as regular garlic? They're asking Ms. Wanda that question.
Garlic's garlic.
Garlic is actually, it's actually in the leek family, but
I
yes.
mean, it's good for you. It's better than no garlic. Put it that way. I mean, I'm assuming yes. I've never really thought about it.
Let's see here. We figure out where I'm at.
How do you prevent worms in your corn? Did you answer that one?
No. You can. We don't have a lot of trouble with worms in our corn if you plant it early enough. The problem with most people is they plant too late, and by then the worms are everywhere. And to be honest with you, I don't worry a lot about it because if we get any to eat, I cut the tips off of it anyway, and it ain't no big deal.
When do you know your potatoes are ready?
I hope they're talking about the red or white potatoes.
Yeah.
Your plant usually will die. When your plant dies, your potatoes are usually ready.
There's Miss Lou, and we got Scratch Made, Danny and Leslie in here. Danny and Leslie said, "I think we have floppy corn." This wind took some.
Oh, the wind took some of our.
It didn't take a lot, but it took a little. So that's the video coming up.
We probably lost
Monday.
15 or 20 stalks to the wind.
But we had some really rough wind the first of the week.
Yeah.
I think it was the first of the week.
Yeah.
All right, Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Danny, I tilled the dead nettle into the garden. Should I rake the longer stems or let them be? I use the row fabric in the garden like Kevin and Sarah.
If you're going to use row fabric, you can just leave them. It's not going to hurt anything.
Anthony says, "Is it too late to plant corn in northeast Mississippi? We've been really wet here."
No, you can plant corn all the way up to the 1st of June. Now, I'm talking about field corn. Now, sweet corn.
Well, that's next week.
Well, I mean, we still got time, though. Sweet corn, it might be too late for sweet corn because it's going to get too hot on it. Sweet corn likes cool weather.
Somebody said, "How did you get your LS tractor back up and running?" We traded it
back in and got rid of it.
We own a Kubota.
All we have is Kubotas on our property.
2 Kubotas.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Plus
actually,
I have
3, really. I mean, we got a Kubota side by side.
I got a Kubota RTV, too.
Yeah.
An old used one, but I like it.
Yeah.
What's the best way to set up the squaring lines for the high tunnel poles?
Well, first of all, when they tell you if it's a 16 by something or a 12 by something, it is not a true 16 feet wide. Take 16 and subtract 3 inches off of it, and let that be your measurement. It'll be 15 foot 9 inches will be the actual width of it, and when you get ready to do the length of it, do the same exact thing. So that you, the best way to square it up is just like squaring up any foundation. I mean, you just do you can do the hypotenuse system, or you can measure from corner to corner, drive your stakes and measure from corner to corner. I mean, there's a ton of different ways to square something up.
Thank you, Joe Mama. And she says, remember Scott in prayers tonight.
He wants some ice cream. I want some ice cream.
I want some ice cream. I want a ice cream, no, what is it called? Banana split.
Banana split?
When we go back to town, I want a banana split, so we got to do that. That's going to be my treat this time. We're going to get a banana split.
Danny, when I prune my corn, I leave what I prune in the rows. Is this good or not? I'm guessing when you say you're pruning your corn, you're pulling off your sucker sprouts. It's not going to hurt a thing in the world as long as you're not plowing. But if you're plowing or cultivating or hoeing up, they're going to get in the way. But we feed all of ours to the rabbits or the cows or something like that. We don't leave ours in the garden.
Prairie Girl and Cowboy says, lots of rain in Montana. Looks like Ireland. Got gardens all in between rains.
Well, Prairie Girl and Cowboy Homestead, you're going to have a lot more, and you're going to have a lot more cool weather coming too. So
Tambra has Danny corn planted, and she said, but it's not as big as yours yet.
Give it time, girl. Give it time. And pour the nitrogen to it. Let me tell you, don't skimp on the nitrogen.
Joan says, I love banana splits. I have not had a banana split in probably 20 years or something like that, but I saw an advertisement for a banana split. I don't even remember where it was at here in town. Was it?
Don't ask me.
I done forgot. I think it was Frosty Mug.
It might have been.
It's Frosty Mug. So we got to go to Frosty Mug and get a banana split. Just saying. I've not had one in probably 20, 30 years. It's been a long time. Try making blueberry sorbet.
Poppy C says, Miss Wanda, where do you get a banana split? At McDonald's? No.
No.
We don't go to McDonald's under no circumstances.
No, there's a place called Frosty Mug here.
No.
And it's privately owned, and Danny's brother owned it at one time.
My brother owned it one time.
But it's where I went. It's been 2 or 3 years ago. I did a video on Crazy Days. I went and got a dill pickle shake. I also got a candy corn shake. They make all kinds of specialty shakes. Now, the candy corn shake was really, really good. I've had other shakes there. I can't remember what kind I had before. My daughter, we took her kids there, and I got a different kind then. But the dill pickle shake just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, okay, I got to try this, and I tried it on camera, and I was expecting a sweet dill taste. No. It is dill through and through. The ice cream is totally overpowered by the dill, but yet it was cold. It was like a really cold dill pickle sliding down. I don't know. But, okay, I didn't do that again. But it was different.
George is saying, have you done the Three Sisters method of corn? Yes, it
didn't work.
I done a video here a while back talking about the Three Sisters corn. It's in one of our videos. I don't remember which one it is. It's over at Pecan Grove. I know that. And I told how the old timers told me they done it, and it is not like they show in all the books and stuff. So I tried like they showed in the books, and it all failed.
Why is my broccoli such a big plant with big leaves and no heads? Well,
maybe you put too much nitrogen to it.
Miss Allison found my dill pickle shake video. Y'all need to go watch that one. Crazy Days needs a few views. Let's see. Too late to start corn in Michigan.
I doubt it's too late to start corn in Michigan. As long as you've got 125 days before the next frost, you can grow corn.
The Butterfingers shakes are delicious, yes. Let's see. Motion-activated sprinklers for critters.
I have seen people that use motion-activated sprinklers for deer and different things like that. We don't have anything. We don't have any water to our gardens.
Aaron Malone says he knows the Frosty Mug. He did home inspections in the area for a couple of years around Wiggins and Lucedale.
And Biloxi, yeah.
So Frosty Mug's like one of the places to stop here.
Yeah.
The other is...
Fred Lumpkin said, is your pond as low as mine is in Poplarville? Here at Deep South, yes. At Pecan Grove, it's still full.
Yeah. Deep South, both our ponds are down low. What's the other one that everybody goes to here in Wiggins? For the fried green tomato.
That's what it's called, fried green tomato.
No, that ain't the name
but
of
it's
it.
Whistle Stop.
The Whistle Stop, yeah.
The Whistle Stop.
Whistle Stop's the other place here in Wiggins that people like. What causes elephant garlic to not bolt? Time?
It's not old enough.
Time?
Yeah, it's just not old enough to bolt.
It should. I mean, leave it. Let it alone.
Allison said Three Sisters video must be on Patreon. Unable to find it. It's not actually a Three Sisters video, Allison. Talking about the Three Sisters is mixed in with the video where I was
showing. Couple of weeks.
It's been in the last couple of weeks where I was showing the Danny Corn update and all over at Pecan Grove.
And it could be on.
It could be on Patreon, but I don't think it is.
I just don't remember which. We do so many videos, and I get emails all the time asking me what video is this in, what video is that in. Y'all, I have no. I mean, we're up to nearly 4,000 videos. I don't know which video has what in it anymore.
Mary Beth says it's 57 in Northeast Georgia right now, which is pretty cool. Have you ever grown moringa, Mr. Goose says?
I have
We
several.
have several now at Pecan Grove.
Yes, and over the years...
she said, never mind, found it.
Jen at... what's it? Life with Jen and Mike. Is that what she's calling it now? Mm-hmm. Anyway, she got me started. She was from California. Got me started on the moringa, and I've grown trees of it here. The winter time kills it. It doesn't live during the winter, so we started moving it in and out of the greenhouses, and I had one or two that had been in there for maybe 2 years or better, and we moved them over to Pecan Grove. And I think I saw another one coming up. So
it's Whistle Stop on Highway 49, Begatton says. No, it's in downtown Wiggins on Main Street on Magnolia Drive in Wiggins.
Yeah.
Frosty Mug has fried bologna sandwiches, Suzanne said.
Yeah, they do. They have all kinds
We don't go out to places like that very often, so
no,
I don't ever go to them, but I mean, it's...
They have some really good burgers. Their fries are good fries. They're not yucky little pieces of hard something. I've not eaten there. It's been a while. I've gotten the shakes a couple of times, but I've not eaten food there in about a year, maybe 2 years. It's been a while.
Genetically modified human.
What?
Okay, I am in South Carolina and it's 55 and rainy. Why? What is going on? There is a weather phenomenon happening. I'm not really allowed to talk about it on here, but I'm going to say a little bit about it. Maybe we won't get in trouble. But there is a weather phenomenon happening. We actually have a particular weather system, let me say that is engulfing the United States right now that's going to change our weather all summer long. So be prepared. If you live in the central part of the United States, according to this new weather information, you're going to burn up. You're going to get hotter and drier. But now if you live in the northern part of the United States, the information says you're going to be colder and wetter. If you live in the southeastern part of the United States, you're going to be colder, wetter, and have more tropical storms this year. Weather where we're at is going to be a little cooler and a little drier, but basically normal. If you live in Arizona, maybe New Mexico out that way, you're going to be wetter than normal, they said. Now, whether or not all that's true, I don't know. I just know this information got sent to me, and I thought it was highly unusual because of the weather patterns we have over the North Pole right now.
All right, now Carlos said he had a row of yellow corn that he put sugar on, and in a short time it was really dark green.
Yes, that's because sugar feeds the microbes in the soil. When I did the video showing where the sugar was secreting out of the roots of this corn stalk to put it back into the soil, I mean, most people don't ever know anything about this kind of stuff, but you can use molasses, you can use regular sugar. Just sprinkle it down your row. If you ain't got a problem with fire ants, it's in really good shape, but it literally feeds the microbes in the soil, and your plants will thank you for it. What would cause tomato branches to turn downwards? They're not tied up, maybe? I mean, tomato plants, when the branches
get heavy,
get up and start, they just lean out and go toward the ground. You have to keep them tied up.
All right, so what causes tomato branches to turn yellow then spotty like a blight? Magnesium deficiency or just a blight?
It's probably just a blight. Magnesium deficiency, you're going to see yellow leaves with dark green veins in them, kind of like, almost like a variegated type look to them. For a magnesium deficiency. And you have to be careful with the magnesium, because if you put too much in it, you'll bind the calcium up and it won't be able to take the calcium up out of the soil either.
Will be Cool says, I drove by the Frosty Mug a couple of hours ago looking for something to eat and wound up going to Bumpers, which was pretty awful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have chose Bumpers. I'm sorry. Try the Frosty Mug if it's open, or go on downtown to what'd you call it? Whistle Stop.
Yeah.
Whistle Stop has some really, really good food, and the atmosphere there is usually pretty cool. Special prayer request for my daughter's stepfather passed away from a heart attack today.
Yeah.
That's Paul Davis.
Okay.
Let's see, where am I at?
Do female and male apple trees both get apples? There is no such thing as a female and a male apple. The apple trees have to have cross-pollinators. They all have male and female blooms on them. You can have a crabapple tree and bees can go from the crabapple to your apple trees and still pollinate them because they all have female blooms on them.
All right, Auntie M says tomato plant stem has bubbled up like it has warts on it. Why?
Oh, I have never had one bubble up like it has warts on it now. That's a new one on me. But it doesn't surprise me with everything that's going on this year.
Yeah, I saw Homestead Heart earlier it was little round white looking bugs on her, I think it was eggplant. I'd never seen that. They were like a little powder puff, like a little tiny,
Yeah.
What is that? She said she'd never had them before either.
There's stuff happening this year, people sending us pictures and emails and stuff. I had never seen all this stuff. It doesn't surprise me that Big Brother wants to take away our food. So, I mean, they're liable to introduce anything into the system.
All right, Judy wants to know, are the blue tomatoes more a cherry tomato? I can't find much. There's 5 different varieties of blue tomatoes.
If you want to find blue tomatoes, look under the Indigo series tomatoes. You will find that there's about 5 different varieties of them.
From little bitty to about this big. So you can get all sizes.
You'll get a blueberry one, you'll get a cherry one, you'll get an apple one. I mean, they keep
going up.
Yeah.
So there's
but it's called the Indigo series.
Yeah, that would be the best way to find it. What would be the reason squash plants aren't blooming?
Oh, maybe they don't have enough fertilizer. I mean, if they're not blooming like they're supposed to be, because usually they put on the male blooms first, and then they put the female blooms on second. Now, we did have some Cherokee tan pumpkins one year that they growed crazy for a long time, and we realized we had too much fertilizer on them, and they made too big of plants, and they didn't put on any blooms.
All right. Brandy says prayers for a family member with stage 4 cancer too.
Okay.
Some people are saying that the tomatoes might be trying to rot if the bumps are on the stem, and another one says that if it's too wet, they may be trying to make roots up, or something. I don't know. I don't know that we've had that. Is it too late in the season to smoke bacon in a smokehouse right now? That's Robert Mitchell.
Robert, it's not if you use the Insecure or something like that on it. I mean, they smoke bacon year-round for grocery stores and everything like that. If you're just going to cold smoke it, it's too late to cold smoke it, unless you live way up north where it's still cold. But if you're actually going to be using the Prac powder #1 or Insecure #1, something like that in it, you'd be fine to go ahead and smoke it.
Do the hot smoking?
Yeah, you gotta hot smoke it. You can't cold smoke it. You have to hot smoke it.
It's too cool. It's not cold.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I would smoke mine right now if I was going to go ahead and run the temperature up real high and cook it.
When rooting pineapples, do you need to add any fertilizer?
At transplanting? No, you just stick it in water to root it.
I am putting copper wire on my plants. It works. My plants are growing like crazy, but these plants are a lot bigger than the other plants.
It does work.
Yeah, we have gotten, I don't know how many people sending pictures, messages, emails. Within 1 week, they see a big difference with the copper antennas. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be Hills Mills copper and tennis.
No, you can make your own.
If you don't want to make them, check out hillsmill.com.
Right.
But if you want to make your own, they still work.
They still work. You can wrap copper wire around a wooden stake, clockwise around a wooden stake, and make it 6 feet tall. I mean, you do whatever.
Get all kinds of questions.
But
you can make your own. Some people make them with, looks like a spider with them all out like this. They've done the coils. They do singles. But now, if you don't want to make them, hillsmill.com has them. We just ordered some more, and I've got a video if I ever get anything edited coming up. We're giving it about a week. Danny put out 20 something of them.
Yeah.
And
we got a time.
We're giving it about a week and a half before I finish the video and show you any differences at that time. But over at Pecan Grove, we've noticed a lot of difference, and in the high tunnel, we've noticed differences.
Robert says, what temperature do you smoke it at? It depends, Robert, what I'm doing. If it's cold smoke, I don't get over about 80 degrees. But if I'm hot smoking it, I'll run it up to about 220 so that the internal temperature of the bacon is at 150. Now, when the internal temperature of bacon reaches 150, it is cooked. You can actually take it out at that point.
All right, Dog Mama wants to know, how do you preserve wild lettuce? Can you freeze dry it and put it in capsules? You can, but the properties of wild lettuce is in that milky substance.
Yes, it's in the sap.
It's in it when it starts putting on its stems. It's not necessarily
not the leaves. No.
Now, not saying that the leaves don't have any properties. It probably does for teas and stuff like that. But the pain relief part that helps with the pain is in that milky substance.
Vicky says, Mr. King, what can I use to stake my tomato plants? I use reinforcement wire from concrete. I make my own cages out of them. You can make them out of just about anything, or you can take, you just go out in the woods and cut a stick down. I mean, I use from the sawmill, they got what they call slats that they put between lumber to dry it. They're usually 1 inch square oak or something like that. You can get them at, we used to get them here at our hardware stores and our feed stores for 50 cents a piece or something like that. They were
50 cents or $1.
They were like 6 foot long, and we just put a point on one end of them and drove them in the ground. I mean, you can use anything you want. Gene says, I put copper on my tomatoes and they doubled in size in a week. When do you plant a rooted pineapple top? Just as soon as it gets good roots on it, put it in the ground or put it in a pot.
All right, Sheila wants to know, does the coils have to be copper? Can you use aluminum?
No, aluminum is highly toxic to the soil, Sheila. Never put anything aluminum in your soil. They need to be copper.
Willow branches would work for something straight up.
Well, if you stick a willow branch in the ground, it'll probably root.
Yeah, willow roots. It
roots real easy.
But any long, straight
anything
limb,
long and
if
straight.
You've got anything you can put in there.
Cattle panels work good for tomato plants too, because we used them on our tomatoes. They work.
We've used cattle panels with everything.
The thing I like about cattle panels is they're good for anything in the garden. Literally anything.
Bamboo canes.
And bamboo is great if you got it.
Bamboo lasts forever.
Yeah.
You about can't get rid of that mess.
Dollar General has decent steaks for $1, Janet says.
Okay. Good to know. We don't shop Dollar General, but we have one down the road in the country.
Any recommendations on natural antibiotics for farm animals? June 15th, all of our counter antibiotics were gone. Banned them. FDA banned them unless you have a veterinary prescription.
You say FADA.
Well, FDA.
FADA.
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 Yeah, we use garlic. When I used to worm my pigs or worm my cows, all that kind of stuff, use garlic. Garlic powder is best to do it with. Tobacco. Tobacco is one of the best wormers that you can get. What's that herb? Wood. When I got rid of it.
Wormwood.
Wormwood. I couldn't think of wormwood. Wormwood's a good wormer. You have to be careful with it though.
Tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco's the best.
And just make sure if you're going to use tobacco and you go to the store to get it, that it doesn't have additives in it, because so many of your tobacco products now has stuff added to it. You want a pure tobacco. You can grow your own if you need to.
Just make sure you get one that's not laced with all kind of chemicals.
Yeah, because that's the problem now with people wanting to use tobacco. They don't specify, don't use chemicals. And most cigarettes and all that other stuff, even your
Serious Prepper says you can also use oregano.
Yes.
Black walnut, yes, black walnut is another one.
Yeah. And if you have like essential oils, you have some of these things in your essential oils. I would recommend most anybody have a decent supply of essential oils. Check out what you might need and see what oils, and at least have one bottle of something that you can mix up.
The other thing is pumpkin seeds. Remember we gave pumpkin seeds to the pigs?
Yes.
We fed our pigs pumpkin seeds to worm them. Yes, so that's another good one. It'll worm you too.
Yes. Hoss Tool sells tobacco seeds. Yes. You can grow tobacco. Just keep in mind when you grow it, it gets big leaves. It's not little anything. It's big. It takes some space to grow tobacco. We actually have seed. We just never have planted.
We have seeds. We just never have planted them.
We just hadn't tried it yet.
You can also use DE, diatomaceous earth. It's also another. Now make sure you get the food grade one, and not the other one.
Any food book recommendations on homeopathy? I used to have one. I don't know if I've got it here or not. It's been a long time since I've picked up those books, but I couldn't, right off the top of my head, I can't remember. I did have one.
Corey says every time we grow tobacco it gets attacked by hornworms. Yes, hornworms is a huge problem in the tobacco crop. Used to, when the old people grew tobacco, if they started seeing hornworms in it, the kids did not have to go to school, and the school would actually give them permission to stay home and help keep hornworms out of the tobacco crops. It was that important back in the day.
Lippy mixes red pepper flakes in with her chicken treats as a dewormer.
Yep.
Dewormer. You say it right.
Now just be careful with red pepper, because red pepper, when it gets to be really, really old, can have worms in it. So just be aware of that. I just read that gooseberries affects pine trees. Yes, it was actually illegal in the South where we live at to grow gooseberries for many, many, many years because of the big timber industries down here and foresting. So yes, that is actually true.
Oh, I'm getting sleepy. Homestead Heart had fake tomato beetles. Is that what she was putting on to fake off the others, or I'm not? I didn't see that one, I guess.
I don't watch them anyway. Some of you do, but
I
don't watch nobody hardly.
I don't watch every video, but I did today see her with what did I tell you? The little white things.
I've been working all day. I mean, I see JT West. I watch his channel, and because I like to farm all tractors, I can't help it. I like Joey. Joey's a good Christian man. Him and his family both. I just, someone like that I do watch, but I don't hardly ever watch a lot of other channels. I
flip through looking at thumbnails, and if they pique my interest, I'll see what they're doing. And I know the Hearts, Homestead Heart, her and her husband, she shows whatever she's doing. And I was interested in the weird little white things because I had not seen them before.
Anthony says, can I put my container of sweet potato that's for slips outside? Yes.
You just don't want it where if it rains it.
Make sure it's got holes in the bottom of it so if it rains, the water can get out of it. But other than that, yeah.
All right, so Pamela said, I purchased a unit to make colloidal silver. What do you guys use it for? I use it for almost anything. If I get sick at any point, if I sore throats, any kind of anything. It's like an antibiotic, okay? I'm not giving advice, so don't take it that way. I'm not a doctor, and this ain't advice. You asked what I'm using it for. We've put it in the chicken's water before. Colloidal silver keeps the bacteria away.
Ms. Lippy, you are correct. You are correct. Technically, most of the time, it's Wanda who's watching you, because I don't have a phone personally. I don't even own a phone. Wanda's always got you on the phone, and when I hear your voice, I'll run in there. If I'm here, I'll run in and look. And yeah, I get the biggest kick out of you. You are telling the truth there now. You are telling the truth.
Yeah, and he does watch a few along, but he don't have time. He goes to sleep. He turns some of y'all on.
I do occasionally turn one of y'all's videos on, but I fall asleep during it.
Y'all put him to sleep.
Y'all just put me to sleep. I'm so exhausted at the end of the day, because I start at 4:30 in the morning, and by 6:30 to 7 o'clock at night, like right now, my eyes are starting to get kind of droopy. I mean, I'm used to going to sleep.
Yep. Lippy says you're in the background going, oh. Yeah, he does. He'll hear you talking. He'll go, did she say that? No, Lippy, no. And I was the one the other day. What was she doing? The freeze dryer. Her and Buddy with the freeze dryer.
Oh, yeah, the freeze dryer.
Danny was dying out laughing. I'm going, no, Lippy, shut
the door. I remember hearing her say that. Shut the door, Lippy.
You don't leave it open. Shut the door. And then she takes everything out and has it all over the counter. And she says, I don't know if I shut the door. And I'm going, shut the door. Don't take everything out at once. Shut the door. I was just yelling through and then I had to go text her so she'd hear me.
Yeah. What do you thicken blueberry pie filling with when canning?
I do not thicken it when I can.
We don't thicken ours when we can it.
I just take and do the blueberries pretty natural. A little bit of sugar, not usually much, and water. And I just pack them in a jar and process them accordingly for blueberries. And then when I want to make a pie, I open it up and then I heat it and add some cornstarch to it. And then you can add as much sugar as you want and stuff like that. I leave it very bland because I never know who is going to be eating what I make. And so that way I'm safe with whatever I make. But you use cornstarch when you heat it up.
Lippy said, I'll confess, we had the insert tray in upside down.
It's easily done.
Laurel Anderson said, I had no idea you can make your own colloidal silver. We have a video showing a homemade machine and how you can make your own colloidal silver.
I have two. One showing, I think, making it, and one showing how to make the machine.
Yeah.
So there's two out there.
Oh, let's see here.
See, Cul-de-sac says, she says, good, I don't feel too bad for sleeping through your videos.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean,
Danny gets really tired and just goes out.
Look, I'm not the young spring chicken that I used to be, but my mind hasn't told my body that yet.
And I'll say, well, so what did you get out of that? And he goes, well, I was listening. And I said, no, you weren't. You've been asleep 45 minutes. You don't even know what it was saying.
Yeah.
He says, no, I was listening. I promise you, I was listening.
Okay, Nadia says, Danny, I'm going to try growing some elephant garlic in zone 10B. When do I plant it? Now. Go ahead and plant it now and get it going.
All right.
If I have treated grass clippings on, or...
Put in compost and use it in a year or two?
No. Grass clippings has been treated? No. Don't never put that in your compost. Throw it away in the garbage. Put it beside the road. Do whatever you got to do. Don't ever... Some chemicals do not compost out.
All right. Deep South Texas says, do you pick speckled butter beans when the pods are green or brown?
Pick them when they're green and extremely full.
Yeah, if you wait till they're brown, then they're going to be dry.
They're going to be dry. I mean, you can dry them and use them like a dry bean if you want to, but you won't get as many pickings off of your plant.
Yeah, and they won't taste as good. They taste better when they're green and full.
But Donk says, what length of copper wire do you need for antennas? That depends on how big of antenna you want to make. I would say, Mickey can answer this better than I can. I would say probably 2 foot or less would make a good antenna. By the time you leave 4 inches for going in the soil, 6 inches out of the soil, that's already 10 inches, and then wait, you wind 7 to 10 coils on it. I would say 16 inches to 24 inches would probably be the length that you'd want.
Three Willows says they put 20 electrocultures from Hill's Mill in their garden yesterday. Good. I'm waiting to see next week how it did. I mean, we're really surprised with ours, and I'm talking. We're gonna try and do a video on the spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
They're starting to die back.
Our spaghetti squash, all the plants are starting to die. The spaghettis are starting to turn a dark yellow color.
And when they die, we can see where all the squash are and where the rods are. And we're going to see if there's a difference in how many is around the rod compared to how many is on the vines out. Because it looked like it was several around the rods where the others were having one or two. So we're going to just check and see if production's up.
Will says, what about grass clippings if the neighbor treats their lawn and you don't treat yours? I would be cautious because rain washes that stuff underneath the soil everywhere and all. I would be cautious. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but.
How do we do meet and greets? We do not. We did the gathering.
We used to do them, but we don't anymore.
We did gathering 3 years, and then COVID hit, and we've not done any more. And we do not go to all these places that everybody else does. We stay home.
Do the copper wires work with sunny weather? Deborah says the copper wires work. It don't matter what weather it is. It ain't got nothing to do with the weather. It's all about the magnetic poles.
All right.
Let's see here.
Darnell says cook those speckled butter beans with some corn and okra. Yep, and a piece of cornbread.
Oh yeah.
And a tomato and a cucumber. You know, you just need it all.
Redbeard Farm says they make theirs with 7 wraps and 30 inches of wire.
Mickey said 2 to 3 feet, or 2 to 3 something. I think he said feet.
Okay, I knew it was around 24 inches. I was just guessing at 24 inches.
Cul-de-sac asked for prayer. She's got some sort
kind
of
virus with goopy eyes and sinuses all week. You know what, cul-de-sac? A lot of people everywhere are having sinus and respiratory issues, which makes me believe that there's something in the air that is causing this. Let's see. Titus says, I have coated copper wire. Should I strip off the coating? Yes. Insulated copper is no good. You got to strip the coating off. ABC. What's your opinion on pelletized lime? I use pelletized lime all the time. It's perfectly fine. Just understand if you're using pelletized lime, it's probably only going to last 1 year. You need to go with a good agricultural lime if you want it to last for the full 3 years.
All right. Also, we had somebody asked about, a lady had sent an email about passing out, and several people she knew that were passing out. Some of this is simply the atmospheric changes.
Yeah, will the magnetic fields in the atmosphere.
It'll create health issues, and it just happens all of a sudden, and then it may not happen to you again. So a lot of this stuff is not, and it's not man-made. This is something that's actually happening, and it happens every so many years.
Yeah.
But now, does man tamper with it?
Yes. Now, also Russia and Germany, I believe Germany, I know Russia has, they're warning their people and telling their people there's going to be these physical issues you're going to be experiencing, so there's no need to run to the doctor because it has nothing to do with anything other than the atmospheric magnetic fields that's going on.
Yeah, and this week Danny had a spell one afternoon, and then he was talking to a guy that stopped by a couple of days ago, and he was explaining what happened to him, and Danny said, I had the same thing. You had come in, and all of a sudden I looked at him, his face was blood red, and Danny never turns red. He was blood red, you were burning
sweat,
up.
I was about to burn up, sweat running off my face.
Nauseated.
And nauseated, yeah.
And, I mean, blood red. And just felt bad. Well, this guy come up and he said, Danny, I had something happen. My wife thought I was having a heart attack or something. He said he turned blood red, sweating profusely, and very sick at his stomach. probably about the same day
Yeah, it was
that
almost,
Danny
yeah, probably about the same day I
his.
had mine.
So
yeah.
it could be something similar. So there are going to be health issues. Somebody's ears, yes, ears is one of them. Nosebleeds is going to be another.
Nosebleeds is going to be another big issue. People's going to have that kind of problem.
Dizziness.
Yep, dizziness.
And two, so one side effect was that you want to eat more for whatever reason. You won't realize you just crave stuff. You want to eat all the time. So that is a weird side effect of it too.
Yes. Okay, we are past our time.
Yes.
We're going to be on pinball's time here.
Just make sure you're not dependent on electronics.
No, I don't even have a phone. Mine got tapped, so I got rid of it, and I don't even own a phone now, and I'm happier than I've ever been. I haven't had a phone in a long time.
I paid for one, and then he put it with him and for about, a month?
A month, I didn't even charge it.
And tried to make a couple of calls, and it wouldn't even. We have no service.
We got
here.
no service.
No
here,
service.
which I love. I love it. We got no service here.
Until he wants to make a phone call.
Until I get ready to make a phone call, then I get aggravated. And I threw the phone off down the hill.
He's like, this thing don't work. Don't pay for it no more.
I said, don't put another dime into this stupid thing.
And that does make a good camera.
It has a great camera on it. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. So we've got a lot of migraines, coughing up blood. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff like that going on. And it's nothing more than the magnetic atmospheric changes going on with our system, because there's actually something going on in outer space I can't talk about, but it's actually, the moon is not actually round like it should be. It's actually oblong now, which is going to make things go really, really crazy here. Okay. All right. We got to get off of here tonight. Have you heard anything about wearing copper bracelets? Carolyn said. I wore one for many, many years. Copper is one of the main reasons why our bodies, we have joint problems, we get stiff when we get older, we have heart attacks, we have gray hair, all this kind of stuff is because of a lack of copper in our system.
All right, let's have a prayer, and then he can talk about his tip, maybe.
Maybe, we'll just worry about it. Father, we thank you for the good live stream tonight, Lord. We had a good time. We like to be able to share information with people. We like to hear good reports on things, and we've had people with requests tonight. A lot of them are not feeling good, having respiratory issues, and some of them are just weak and wore out, kind of like all of us are. And we just pray for everybody's health tonight, Father, that everybody can, can get to feeling a lot better. Because we know you're the great physician. You can heal all things in our bodies. You made us from dust. You can certainly take care of a physical issue. And tonight we just pray for, I've run into people that's still looking for places to live, trying to get started. People having complete garden failures. I talked to a guy this week, had a complete garden failure. I ended up giving him some vegetables because his garden just completely failed. And Father, I'm afraid that that's going to become the norm in the very near future, is that people's gardens are just going to completely fail because they're not willing to change with the changes. And I pray that people will become a little more open-minded when it comes to gardening and the ways that we're going to have to change to compensate for the atmospheric things that's going on. Lord, our world is changing, and you know that. So I pray that you give everyone a special measure of wisdom to deal with their gardens now. Watch over our country tonight, Father. I can't say that we're on high alert, but there are some things going on behind the scenes that are worth watching, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking knowing that we're this close to certain situations happening, but we also know that you're still in control of everything. And Father, one of the things I pray about is the simple fact that we've become worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And that is a big concern to me, because you took Sodom and Gomorrah out before they got to a certain stage, and you've allowed us to go beyond that stage. And which really bothers me, because that tells me judgment is imminent and there's nothing we can do about it. And we're just praying now for some sort of protection from the judgment that's going to befall us. So, Father, go with us tonight. Help us all to have a good night's rest, to be able to rise tomorrow, and watch over us through the weekend. This is a Memorial Day weekend where we honor the fallen veterans, Lord. And Father, I myself have many comrades that have fallen, and I feel for the families, and I have to watch my anger many times when I see people wanting to party all through these types of holiday, when it's not about partying, it's not about having a good time, it's about remembering those who gave us the right to have the freedom that we have now. Freedom comes with a very high price, and it just irritates me when I see people take that for granted now. So go with us, give us good night's rest tonight, Father. We love you and we appreciate you, and ask that you forgive us where we failed you. These things we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Oh, my
Woo.
eyes.
Oh, let's see.
Lena said, did you receive my emails on asking for advice? Lena, I probably did, but I could not tell you. I get so many
We get
emails.
Hundreds of emails.
I try to answer as many, but this week has been one of those weeks that I just had to skip a bunch. And by the time I don't answer something for today, tomorrow I have 100 and something more. So you just have to resend. I'm sorry. I just did not have time to hit everybody this week.
Yeah. Someone was asking about soil in the mineral tub, below the holes in the mineral tub that you drill. It's really up to you. You can actually put gravel in the bottom of them if you want to. I just put soil all the way to the very bottom. If I have some corn cobs that I left off of last year's corn or something, I'll throw them down there in the very bottom because they hold a lot of moisture. You can put basically whatever you want. Sometimes I put plain sand in the bottom of mine. It just makes the tub real heavy, but it also holds a good bit of moisture.
All right. So what's your tip?
Oh, the tip for tonight. Is anybody? Oh, there's Camper Jack's wanting to know a tip. Mary Beth's wanting to know a tip. All these people wanting tips. Boondonk, all of these. My tomatoes are splitting. Why? Tomatoes split when they go from being too dry to too much water. That's the main reason they split. Guys, I did a video this past week that has gone viral.
Okay, let me read this one.
Okay.
Good looking honky, Deep South, hiya. I'm Peter North here, an old adult film star retired. Currently in South Carolina fishing for red snapper. Love the South. Thanks, Peter North. Well, thank you.
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Anyway, I did a video this past week talking about cow manure in the garden and goat manure and sheep manure, all this kind of stuff in the garden. And it's gone viral, talking about Grazon. First of all, I could not remember the name of the company accurately in that video, and I just said DuPont, which it was not DuPont, it's Dow Chemical Company. But, guys, tonight, I want to just reiterate that because I am literally shocked at how many people go out and they purchase hay, straw, manure, whether it's cow, horse, goat. They purchase this in large quantities and bring it home and dump it in their gardens, and they don't even think about what the animal's been fed. The medication that's been given to the animals, the hay that's been sprayed that's been given to them, you know, the chemicals that's run through their bodies. This all goes into the soil because it goes right through their intestines and their kidneys and goes right back into their urine and their manure. And we put this stuff over in our gardens and we don't even think twice about it because we're trying to do it the way God said do it. And I have gotten chewed out so much this week for using synthetic fertilizers. And I actually answered one person, and I think they come around to common sense. And they said, I can't believe that you, through an email, I don't know if it's an email or which one, or where it was, I can't believe you're putting down on a herbicide in your garden and you're still using a synthetic fertilizer. And I told him, I said, let me ask you a simple question. Do you take medication? And mostly people say yes. Mm-hmm. Wanda and I don't take any medication, but lots of people do take medication. And they strain at a gnat and they swallow a fly. Because the medication you take is a synthetic medication. 99% of it, unless you go through a homeopathy type system, you're going to take a synthetic medication. Your body's an organic organism. Synthetic medicine doesn't work in your body. It creates more side effects for what's going on, and you have to take another synthetic medicine, which creates another side effect, and it's just a roller coaster. So, fix what's wrong with their body and not think anything about it because a quote-unquote doctor or earthly god or whatever you want to call them has told them this is what you need. So be careful about what you put into your body and when you criticize somebody. I don't care, you criticize. And let me say something about Black Cow. You know, Black Cow brought it home and killed everything I had. You know what I mean?
We've got a bag sitting in the in the little greenhouse over there. Danny refused to use it because the first bag killed stuff.
The first bag killed everything I had. So I just, we don't use it.
And everybody's saying we froze up.
Well, you know why? Because I shared some valuable information.
All right, so good night, everybody. I guess it doesn't
They cut you off.
They don't want you talking about this. See? That's what I was telling y'all.
Yep. They cut us off whenever we started talking about something that was actually the truth.
Now, they might let us back on. Hey, they let us on to say good night. Yeah, they cut him off because of what he was saying. But
anyways, it's called censorship. We're being censored. That's why I got rid of my telephone, because it was already tapped by Big Brother, and I don't want another one.
All right.